Peace everyone, I am Crystal A. Pratt. I am owner of Envision Bliss Coaching. On this video, I am specifically here to speak to all of you recent high school graduates. I am super excited for you guys. I know that you are excited as well to get out of high school, to graduate, and to continue with your journey, continue with your adult life. So again, kudos to you guys for graduating, and you should be excited. I'm actually excited for you. Now with this video, I specifically want to speak to those high school students who have graduated, but maybe you're not really sure what you want to do with your life career-wise. So maybe you have everybody asking you, what do you want to do? Are you headed to college? Are you going to get a job? So I am specifically speaking to you guys as well as your parents, because I'm pretty sure maybe if you're not quite sure what you want to do with your life, maybe they are also kind of freaking out like, and putting pressure on you, asking you, what are you going to do? But I just want to let you know that it's completely okay if you have no idea what you want to do. It's normal. It all happens to us once, twice, 3 or 4 times in our life, where we have to step back, really dive into ourselves and figure out what do we want to do next with our career. So in this video, I am going to guide you guys and give you some tips on how you can discover what you're passionate about and how you can turn that into a career, or even transition that into your job. Okay, so step number 1, the first thing I want you guys to do is to discover your passion. Okay, dive deep into yourself, whether you decide to go to the park like I am enjoying this nice day, but if you decide to go out to the park or just somewhere where you can relax and get to yourself and really dive into yourself and ask yourself, what do I enjoy doing? Make a list, or put it in your phone. Make a list, but actually take a note of some things that you actually enjoy doing. So whether it's working on cars, whether it's baking, whether it's communicating or speaking with people, whatever it is you like to do, just go ahead and make a list of that. But I want you guys to think carefully. Really think of things that you actually enjoy doing, not something that someone has to drag you out of bed to do, or force you to do, or convince you to do, or bribe you to do. Think of some list of things that you actually enjoy doing, and something that you wouldn't mind transitioning into a career. Okay, so that's the first thing that I want you guys to do. List or jot down on your phone whatever your passions are, some things, skills, talents that you enjoy doing. Okay, now step number 2. Step number 2 is, after you guys have listed the things that you enjoy doing, what you're passionate about, after that, I want you to take a look at that list, and I want you guys to try to correlate that list and see if it can you can actually transition it into a career. Okay, I'll give you an example. So let's say, for example, I enjoy baking. Okay, so let's say I enjoy baking, I enjoy cooking. Well, that could lead me into careers of becoming a chef. Maybe one day I want to own my own restaurant. So just think of some things, again, how your particular skills and passions can correlate into a career. Okay, for example, actually, when I graduated from high school, I did not want to go to college. Thank goodness my mom had my neighbor convince me to go. But I'm glad he did, because I really enjoyed myself and I thrived there. But I wanted to be an audio engineer. I felt like I didn't need college to be an audio engineer. I wanted to produce music and get involved with music. So because of the love and passion I had for music, that was going to be my course. I was going to be a music producer, and that at the time was what I thought my career was going to be. So that's another example for me. I loved music, and I wanted to parlay that into a career as a music producer. Okay, or let's say, for example, you enjoy working on cars. Let's say you have a knack for, whether it's detailing, working on the engine, or whatever the case may be. Transition that into maybe owning your own automotive shop, or maybe you want to own whatever the case may be, dealing with cars. So just research, take a look at your list that you've written down there, and research what type of careers can relate to those lists that you have. Okay, and after you come up with a list of careers, I want you guys to actually call whatever company, whatever person that has those type of careers that you think you may want to go into. Okay, so for example, I'll go back to the restaurant, the baking idea. So let's say, for example, I want to eventually one day own a restaurant. So what I want to do, I would want to call a restaurant up, maybe call the owner, call someone who works there, and say, you know what, I think eventually I want my career to be a chef. I'm not really sure. I am in the process of going to college, or in the process of going into the workforce, and I would just love to come in and ask you a couple of questions and maybe chit-chat regarding what some of the qualifications may be if I decide to enter this career. Okay, so step 2, after you figure out, again, what your career could possibly be based on your interests, go ahead and call someone or meet with someone better yet in person, so that you can get a feel of the environment and what it's like to work in that particular industry that you're thinking about going into. And that way you can get a real one-on-one, a real face-to-face idea of what it's going to be like, because it's totally different, or it can be totally different from you actually Googling careers, or you're reading it in a book, or wherever you may be getting your information. It's totally different when you actually go meet someone and you're actually in the office or in the environment of that particular business or organization. So if it's a restaurant, go ahead to the restaurant, see what it's like, the hustle and bustle of the customers, see what it's like to be back there in the kitchen cooking the food, because you want to get all those details. You also want to ask them about salary information, what type of qualifications, what type of education may you need for that particular job. So you want to call them up, be nice, be respectful, be professional, and just ask if you can come in and take a couple minutes of their time to pick their brain about what you possibly want to transition into a career. I know me personally, when I worked in higher education, I would have some students call and ask me different questions, and actually I would love to help them because they were interested in helping themselves. So that's why I say be professional, be courteous, be respectful, because a lot of times, at least the people that I know and the people that I worked with, we were more than happy to help students and people alike who are or were willing to help them. Okay, so that's step number 2. So step number 3, this is where I'm going to break it down. So for you high school students who are headed off to college, or if you're headed into the workforce, I'm going to give you 2 different options on what you can do with step number 3. Okay, so step number 3, for the high school students, for you guys going off to college, it's going to be after you speak to the organization or the person and you figure out, okay, I think I want to proceed with this career. What I want you guys to go ahead and do, if you're going off to college, go ahead and major in that particular career that you think that you may be interested in. So again, just sticking with the baking idea, if I'm going to college, I may be interested in going to culinary school or majoring in culinary arts. So that would be a perfect example of a good major, of course, that I would want to major in if I am interested in cooking and baking and things of that nature. So that just gives you an idea of how you can, transition your skills, talents, and passions into your major if you're going the college route. Okay, so for those people or students rather who are going into the workforce, what you're going to do after you have decided, this is the particular field that I want to go into, what you guys are going to do, you're going to start applying for those jobs. Start applying for those jobs in the career field that you're interested in going into, because hopefully by this time you would have gotten a little bit more information with your own research, and also going in to speak with someone about what that career is going to look like for you. So again, go ahead and start applying for those jobs. And when you are applying for those jobs, please go ahead and tell everybody, and your mama, the neighbor, and the dog, that you are interested in that particular field, because what you want to do is go ahead and network, because you never know your neighbor, you never know your friend, you never know your parents' friend or your relative's friend, you never know who knows who that is in that particular industry that you're thinking about going into, that can maybe help you with an interview or give you some pointers. So you always want to make sure that you let people know what it is that you're trying to do with your life, so that they can help you, or at least be in the lookout to help you, just in case they run into someone, or just in case they know someone who can help you get your foot in the door with an interview, because it's going to be hundreds or maybe even thousands of applicants and other people that you are going to be competing with when it comes to your job and starting yourself into the career of your choice. Okay, so step number 4. Let's go back to the college students first. So let's say you guys have declared your major, you're majoring in whatever it is that you're interested in doing. After you dive into your major, then I want you guys to go ahead and get involved in clubs and organizations. Now, when I say clubs, I don't mean like clubs like you in the club, just getting your groove on. That's not what I mean. When I say clubs, I mean on-campus clubs. So clubs and organizations that will help you propel and help you that will actually give you more experience with your major. So you may be involved in a culinary arts club on school, or you may do some volunteering at a restaurant or something like that, or maybe you may work in a restaurant while you are in school. But the key here is actually, once you've decided your major, go ahead and get more experience, more hands-on knowledge, and also speak to people. This is where you want to really build on your craft and start to get better and better and learn from people who are already in that profession, and meet with people and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing one day. What can I be doing now while I am in college to make sure that when I graduate I have a job, or make sure when I graduate I'm qualified so that I can get a good job in this career that I love, that I'm passionate about. So you definitely want to make sure while you are in college, please go ahead and take advantage of all of the resources on and off campus, especially while you're in school and you have that at your fingertips. And at this point, hopefully you're not paying a lot of bills as you would be once you graduate from college. So take advantage of this free time while you have to study primarily on your schoolwork, because once you graduate, you want to make sure that you have a nice solid resume, not only with the education but also with the experience that you have in your particular field to really segue you smoothly into a career of your choice that you will enjoy. Okay? Now, for those who are headed off to the workforce, after you have applied for the job and after you have gotten the job, hopefully, once you have your foot in there, what I want you guys also to do is to find mentors. Speak to someone who is in a certain position that eventually you want to be in one day. Speak to them, maybe invite them out for coffee and just chit chat for a little bit. And again, pick their brain about some of the things that you can be doing now while you are in that particular job, in that particular career field, and say, hey, I think I want to maybe be in your position one day. What are some things that I can do now to make sure that I am actually qualified, so that when the time comes or when the job opening comes, that I am available, that I would be a great candidate for that position. And also, don't just look inside of your employer, look at your community. Get involved in some things outside in your community that, again, that is going to give you that experience, so that when the time comes for you to get that certain position in your career field that you're interested in, that you'll be a great candidate, a great shoe-in. But everybody has to start somewhere. You know, the song said, hey, we started from the bottom, now we're here. Everybody has an entry-level position that they will most likely do. So don't be afraid. Don't be discouraged. Be excited that you would actually be in your career field doing what you want to do. And again, that goes to the college students as well. While you are in college, while you are on that campus, please, trust me, I'm speaking from personal experience, do what you love. Take advantage of the clubs and organizations. Try different clubs and organizations to see what makes you happy, and to see what type of career field you want to go into. Use that as your research and just go for it, okay? And just envision bliss. So those are my 4 tips that I have for you guys for high school students who have just graduated, whether you are going into college or going directly into the work field. So the first thing, if you are freaking out, I would say don't. Parents, if you are freaking out because your young adults are headed off into the world and they have no clue what they want to do, don't freak out. Just woosah. Relax, take a deep breath, pat yourself on the back for graduating from high school. It really is a big accomplishment that you guys should be proud of. So just take a list, take those, jot those 4 steps down that I just mentioned. And again, practice, experiment, volunteer, and really dive into yourself and figure out, what am I passionate about? What is it that I like? What is it that I love so much that I wouldn't mind transitioning into a career, okay? So again, this is Crystal A. Pratt, owner of Envision Bliss Coaching. I have my website down here at the bottom, envisionblisscoaching.com. If you guys have any questions and you want to hit me up, please let me know. I would love to assist you guys with your career search. I have some programs that would assist you guys with diving a little bit deeper than what I just recorded on this video, to help you guys step by step to get you acclimated with who you are, and also how you can translate who you are into a career that you're going to love and that you are going to enjoy. So again, congratulations. I wish you guys all the best. You should be super excited and enjoy life, and most importantly, envision bliss. Peace, y'all.